Hello! Today we will solve a question from the TOEFL Reading section, focusing on the read a social media post question type. We will practice understanding everyday notices, identifying rules, instructions, or key conditions, and selecting the most accurate answer based on practical, real-life written information. Welcome back to another exciting reading practice session. In this lesson, we are going to dive into a social media post from a museum. These types of questions test your ability to quickly scan for key details like dates, times, and special requirements. It is a great way to sharpen your skimming skills, which are essential for the TOEFL. So, let's get started and see what this museum has to offer. If you find these practice sessions helpful, please subscribe to My TOEFL and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. We would love to have you join our community of learners as we master the TOEFL together. Oakwood Museum of History. The title here is Oakwood Museum of History. This tells us immediately who is sending the message. It is an official post from a cultural institution. Knowing the source helps us anticipate the content. In this case, we can expect information about exhibitions, history, artifacts, or visiting hours. It sets the context for the entire text. I discover the wonders of the past at our new special exhibition, Echoes of the Nile, Life in Ancient Egypt. This opening sentence is the hook. It announces the main event. The phrase, new special exhibition, is crucial because it tells us this is not a permanent part of the museum. It is a temporary or featured event. The title, Echoes of the Nile, and the phrase, Life in Ancient Egypt, clarify the specific topic. So right away, we know the subject is Ancient Egypt and the format is a special display. This immersive journey features over 200 authentic artifacts, including pottery, jewelry, and a replica of a royal tomb. Here, the text describes what visitors will actually see. The words authentic artifacts emphasize that the items are real historical objects. It lists examples like pottery, jewelry, to give a sense of variety. It also mentions a replica of a royal tomb, which suggests a reconstructed model for visitors to walk through or look at, adding to the immersive experience. The exhibition is open from July 1st to September 30th. This sentence provides the timeline. The dates July 1st to September 30th define exactly when this event happens. This confirms that the exhibition is limited in time. It is not here forever. It has a start and an end date. This is a key detail for anyone planning a visit. Our interactive displays allow visitors of all ages to learn about the daily life, beliefs, and innovations of this fascinating civilization. Now the post focuses on the educational aspect. The phrase interactive displays suggests that visitors can touch screens or engage with the exhibits, rather than just looking. By saying visitors of all ages, the museum makes it clear that this is suitable for children and adults alike. It covers broad topics like daily life, beliefs, and innovations. Don't miss the detailed models of the Great Pyramids and the virtual reality experience. Here are two specific highlights to look out for. First, the detailed models of the Great Pyramids give a physical representation of famous structures. Second, the virtual reality experience indicates that modern technology is used to simulate the environment. These are selling points to attract visitors. Admission to the special exhibition is included with a general museum ticket, but timed entry slots are required due to high demand. This is a very important rule for visitors. First, the good news. Included with a general museum ticket means you do not need to pay extra money specifically for this exhibit. However, there is a condition. Timed entry slots are required. This means you cannot just walk in whenever you want. You must have a specific time assigned to your ticket. The reason given is high demand. We strongly recommend booking your tickets online in advance to guarantee entry and choose your preferred time. Following the previous rule, this sentence gives advice. The museum advises booking your tickets online in advance. Why? To guarantee entry. If you do not do this, you might not get in. It also lets you choose your preferred time, giving you control over your schedule. The museum has extended hours on Fridays, staying open until 9 p.m. Finally, we have a note about the schedule. On Fridays, the schedule is different. The museum has extended hours, specifically staying open until 9 p.m. This is later than usual, offering a special opportunity for evening visits on that specific day. All right, that is the first question. Let's start by figuring out the primary reason this text was written. What is the main purpose of the post? The question asks for the main purpose of the post. We need to look at the text as a whole to decide why the museum published this. Was it to inform, to ask for something, or to sell something? The very first sentence gives us a strong clue. Discover the wonders of the past at our new special exhibition. The text then describes the content, dates, and ticket info for this specific event. Let's take a closer look at option A, to announce new permanent collections at the museum. Option A suggests the purpose is to announce new permanent collections. However, looking at the text, we see the phrase special exhibition and specific dates July 1st to September 30th. A permanent collection would stay forever, but this one has an end date. Therefore, this is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option B, to advertise a limited time cultural exhibit. Option B says the purpose is to advertise a limited time cultural exhibit. This aligns perfectly with the text. The text mentions a new special exhibition about life in ancient Egypt, which is cultural, and states it is open from July 1st to September 30th, which means it is a limited time. This option covers the main idea accurately. It is correct. 8. Now let's take a closer look at option C, to explain the history of ancient pyramid construction. Option C claims the purpose is to explain the history of ancient pyramid construction. While the text mentions detailed models of the Great Pyramids, the post itself does not explain the history or construction methods. It simply invites people to come and see the models. The post is an advertisement, not a history lesson. Thus, this is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option D, to seek donations for artifact preservation projects. Option D suggests the goal is to seek donations. If we scan the text, is there any request for money or support for preservation? No. The text talks about tickets and admission, but not charitable donations. Therefore, this is incorrect. The correct answer is B, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage. Moving on to the next question, we need to find a specific detail regarding the schedule. What is different about visiting the museum on a Friday? This question asks specifically, what is different about visiting on a Friday? To answer this, we must scan the text for the word Friday and see what special condition applies to that day. We find this information in the very last sentence. The museum has extended hours on Fridays, staying open until 9 p.m. Let's take a closer look at option A. Admission is free for all visitors. Option A states that admission is free. Does the text mention free entry on Fridays? No. It says admission is included with a general museum ticket, implying a ticket is needed. There is no mention of a free day, so this is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option B. The exhibition features live demonstrations. Option B suggests there are live demonstrations. The text mentions interactive displays and a virtual reality experience, but it does not say anything about live people performing demonstrations specifically on Fridays. This information is not in the text, therefore it is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option C. The institution is open later than on other days. Option C says the institution is open later. Let's compare this to the text. The text says extended hours on Fridays, staying open until 9 p.m. Extended hours means the hours are longer, or later than usual. This matches perfectly. It is correct. Now, let's take a closer look at option D. Special tours are offered by guest historians. Option D claims that special tours are offered by guest historians. While this sounds like a nice event, does the text actually say this happens on Fridays? No, it does not mention guest historians at all. We cannot assume information that isn't there, so this is incorrect. The correct answer is C, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage. And now for the final question. We need to identify the recommended action for visitors. What is the best way for a visitor to ensure they can see the exhibit? The question asks for the best way to ensure they can see the exhibit. Ensure means to make sure or guarantee. We need to find the part of the text that gives advice on how to guarantee entry. We find this in sentence 7. We strongly recommend booking your tickets online in advance to guarantee entry. Let's take a closer look at option A. By arriving at the museum as soon as it opens. Option A suggests arriving as soon as it opens. While arriving early is often a good idea, the text does not say this is the way to guarantee entry. In fact, since timed entry slots are required, just showing up early without a reservation might not work if the slots are full. This is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option B. By calling the museum on the day of their visit, option B suggests calling the museum. The text does not mention calling as a method to book tickets. It specifically mentions booking your tickets online. Calling on the day of the visit might be too late because of high demand. Thus, this is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option C. By joining a large tour group with a guide. Option C suggests joining a large tour group. The text mentions general museum ticket, but says nothing about guided tour groups being the way to guarantee entry. This is not mentioned in the text, therefore, it is incorrect. Now let's take a closer look at option D. By reserving an entry time through the website. Option D says, by reserving an entry time through the website. This matches the text perfectly. The text says, booking your tickets online in advance to guarantee entry and choose your preferred time. Website corresponds to online. This is definitely the right answer. It is correct. The correct answer is D, because the key expressions in the text directly match this option, while the other choices either provide incomplete information or clearly contradict the passage.